Good evening, a warm welcome to tonight's edition of the main news. My name is Joyce Mabika. Susan Masona is on sign language.
Great to have you along. My name is Patla Nepure. Doran Ngwe will be joining us later on from our Montreal studios. But let's start with tonight's headlines.
Cabinet reviews a 44th SADC summit and describes it as a huge success.
Well, all is in place for the burial of National Hero Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira at the National Heroes Acre this Wednesday.
In business, Zim trade strategies pay off in Mozambique.
And later on, when we bring you our look at sport, Perinatal Queens to face Cameroon United in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. Starting off with tonight's top story. Well, the just ended 44th SADC summit, which saw President Emmerson Mnangagwa assuming chairpersonship of the regional bloc, has been described as a huge success.
The summit and other issues dominated presentations during the post-cabinet meeting held in Harare this Tuesday.
The 26th post-cabinet media briefing was held this Tuesday following the sitting of cabinet at the State House. As revealed by the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jen van Muswere, a number of key issues came up for discussion. Among those was the hosting of the 44th SADC summit done here in Zimbabwe, and he said, as discussed in cabinet, it was described as highly successful.
Cabinet joins the nation in congratulating His Excellency the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on assuming the SADC chairmanship and for successfully hosting the 44th SADC summit on the 17th of August 2024. All member states were represented at head of state level or other appropriate high-ranking levels. A total of 2,306 delegates were accredited during the SADC Industrialization Week and 3,041 during the summit. The hosting of the 44th SADC summit surpassed the SADC standards. And the best way to describe the feeling across the country is that this is a perfect example. This is an epitome, it's a citadel, a paragon, and excellence in terms of repositioning Zimbabwe to its correct position in terms of international relations.
Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister, Ambassador Frederick Shava, also chipped in on the success of the 44th SADC summit.
We feel exalted very much by the number of heads of state that attended the summit here. This exaltation certainly is something that says heads of state and government were keen and confident that they should attend this particular summit.
Following siltation in the country's major rivers, Cabinet resolved that alluvial mining be banned.
Cabinet considered the report on alluvial mining and rehabilitation of degraded rivers, which was presented by the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Dr. Incius Masuka, who is also the chairperson of the Interministerial Committee on Mining and Environment. Cabinet noted that ever since its commencement in 2011, across the country's rural provinces, large-scale and mechanical alluvial mining or riverbed mining has resulted in water pollution, siltation, degradation of river channels, and disruption of river ecosystems. Cabinet directed that riverbed mining be banned with immediate effect.
The Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Incius Masuka, also chipped in on the issue of alluvial mining.
We have noted three classes of companies. First, those that apply legally and comply with all the environmental tenets. then those that apply to the ministry and the Ministry of Environment, but on the ground do something else. Then there is a class of just illegal miners that just go onto a river and begin to mine, whether as artisanal or as mechanical miners. So those are the three classes. And what we have said is that we want to ban alluvial mining. And in banning, it means that we need to resource the ministries, departments, and agencies that are mandated with ensuring enforcement of laws.
Cabinet was also updated on the issue of the relocation of the Matabeleland North offices from Bulawayo to Lupane.
Cabinet considered a report on the relocation of Matabeleland North provincial offices from Bulawayo Metropolitan Province to Lupane Center as presented by the Honorable Vice President, retired Colonel KCD Mohadi. The Honorable Vice President visited Lupane Center in Matabeleland North Province on the 20th of June 2024 to establish the state of readiness of the civil servant housing units and the government complex offices for occupancy, while also checking on the status of the construction work at the Lupane Provincial Hospital. The civil servants' houses are 90% in terms of completion, whilst the government complex is complete. The houses can be immediately be completed, while the government offices can also be utilized before the end of the third quarter of the year 2024.
The Zimbabwe Agriculture Show begins next week, and this was another issue that was discussed in Cabinet. Information revealed that more exhibitors have registered than last year. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Harare.
The recently held SADC summit elevated the country's economic and industrial agenda while setting the tone for future regional industrialization.
The Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, ZNCC, says the SADC summit provided a key lesson that the region can mobilize its internal resources to industrialize, learning from Zimbabwe's experience, which has thrived without external financing.
Most countries in the region, they depend on aid, either from the transatlantic zone or some parts of the world like Asia. But Zimbabwe had managed to do it alone. And this should be a lesson that as we push for industrialization and innovation within the region, it's possible to drive the story without depending on any aid, on any resources, even from the Bretton Woods institutions, knowing fully well that most of the African countries are right now in debt trap due to loans which were advanced to them without any capacity to pay back.
Other analysts weighed in, saying the summit was a key opportunity to drive the country's economic goals.
Remember, as a country, very soon the Minister of Industry, I believe, is going to be launching the transformation, industrial transformation growth strategy to unleash or to broaden our growth, the growth of our own local industry, obviously taking advantage of our local content initiatives.
SADC Secretary indicated that the regional gross settlement system, real-time gross settlement system, has so far transacted around 702 billion worth of transactions. And this only invokes a sense of urgency on our party to stabilize our currency and to reduce increasingly our reliance on the US dollars.
The chairmanship really propels our economic endeavors in a way that, number one, enhances our diplomatic position, and number two, steers the industrialization plan in a way that exudes Zimbabwe's position and also capacitates Zimbabwe and SADC at large towards the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
A construction firm involved in major SADC roads projects said this was a revelation for business.
We have so many young engineers who were given roles to play, and being accelerated, it gave them that pressure, to deliver within a short space period of time, and they delivered. And these local engineers Some of them now will be graduating to become senior construction engineers, senior design engineers. And these are opportunities that came with the SADC summit.
Zimbabwe will lead the SADC Business Council for the next 1 year with expectations that it will utilize that position to harness its industrial competitiveness while helping to spearhead the growth of the region's trade in line with the SADC industrialization agenda. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The Chivi community in Masvingo province say they've lost a dedicated revolutionary and development champion in national hero Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira.
Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira's body arrived at his rural home in Madzingira village of Chivi North this Tuesday morning, where it was received by senior government officials, relatives and friends from across the Masvingo province. The local community indicated that despite the passing on of the national hero, his works will be remembered forever.
Muno machivi tichibatanawo munhu wedevelopment, munhu anga ane rudo. Pana pamba pawo toti pamba asi pano toti paona sepachikoro.
Akataidza kuti akanoshingi anga achigona kuva anotungamirira vanhu.
Ndarasikirwa zvokuti vendero riri mwara mutsauno rikabva.
The Masvingo province leadership described the late national hero as a unifier and development champion.
Isu semusangano weZANU-PF zvatiremeravo nokuti general vanga uri munhu wakasimba zvakanyanya pamusangano wedu weZANU-PF. General vamadzingira sokunzwa kwamaita zvirongwa zvose zvokumusangano ndo vanga vari umwe wamanumber 1.
The late Brigadier General Elasto Madzingira, untimely death has indeed left a void which is very difficult to fill at a time when we need patriots like him to advocate and implement His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe's vision of becoming an upper middle income society by 2030.
The body of the late national hero was airlifted to Harare for burial at the National Shrine this Wednesday. Karejushes, ZBC News, Chivi.
Meanwhile, the body of national hero Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira is now in Harare ahead of burial at the National Heroes Acre this Wednesday.
Friends, relatives, colleagues and government officials received the body of the national hero Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira at the Charles Kumbo Barracks in Harare late afternoon this Tuesday. The body will lie in state at the Madzingira family home in Greendale ahead of burial this Wednesday.
Tomorrow morning, we are going to depart from the residence around 9 o'clock and we head to the National Heroes Acre. We are expecting members of the public to be seated by 7 a.m. and we are encouraging members of the public to come and give a dignified send-off to our national hero.
The family is grateful for the honor bestowed on the late national hero.
Tinokudza Mwari nekutenda hurumende yedu, His Excellency the President, for conferring this status kuna the late Brigadier General Elasto Madzingira. Tinoti vakutenda kukuru nokuti munhu akarwira nyika, and this has been recognized. This is chinhu chinotikoshera mupenyu, chinokosherawo naiye mufi.
Tinotenda kuti hanzvadzi yedu Elasto Madzingira wapuwa rumekedzero rwekamba. Tinotenda nokuti he deserved it. Vakashanda, vakaenda kuhondo, vakasacrifice kuenda kuuniversity, vachienda kunorwira rusununguko.
Tinotenda zvikuru zvataitirwa na president nehurumende burikidza nekuremekedza kwavaita sekuru vedu.
The late Brigadier General retired Elasto Madzingira, who had an illustrious military and academic resume, is survived by a wife and 6 children. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
And of course, you can join live coverage of what will be taking place at the National Shrine tomorrow here on the channel. Now, Zimbabwe's presentation at the India-Africa Business Conclave, which commenced in New Delhi today, has generated significant interest among Indian companies looking to invest in the country.
Several Indian firms have expressed their intention to explore investment opportunities in Zimbabwe following a presentation by the Zimbabwean delegation highlighting the country's potential for growth and development. Addressing a packed audience of Indian investors, head of the Zimbabwean delegation at the conclave, Vice President General Retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga outlined Zimbabwe's vast economic potential.
My country is endowed with over 60 internationally tradable minerals, which include diamonds, lithium, platinum group of metals, gold, coal, and rare earth elements. The recent discovery of oil and gas is a potential game changer for Zimbabwe's economic growth, as it will have impact on energy security and the development of several downstream industries, among others. Zimbabwe has one of the largest lithium reserves in Africa, if not number one on the African continent, and 7 in the world. Zimbabwe, therefore, invites you to invest in mining value chain, which encompasses the provision of prospecting and exploration, mining and value addition, finance and technical services for partnerships with local mining firms.
A panel of Zimbabwean government officials, including Health and Childcare Minister Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Industry and Commerce Dr. Thomas Utete, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation and Science Development, Professor Fanuel Tagwira, and the CEO of Mutapa Investment Fund, Dr. John Mangunja, fielded questions from Indian investors, providing further insight into the country's investment opportunities and regulatory framework.
Unless you introduce the e-commerce in your operations, whether it is the health sector or it's the industrial sector or even in education, then your expeditious completion of the projects cannot be completed.
We are also very much aware of the issues to do with e-commerce, and we have also started e-government. So we have e-procurement, we have e-GP, government procurement.
Please note, the country of Zimbabwe was implementing EcoCash wallet long before India had Paytm on 4G. They were implementing a wallet on GPRS. Long time ahead, we had been implementing a digital infrastructure. A round of applause. So they have a fantastic digitization effort with one of the best human capital you'll find in Africa.
I would like to understand the kind of higher education scenario in the country of Zimbabwe, and if you would be welcoming foreign universities such as an Indian university.
Yes, there is an opportunity to start a university. However, it is important to understand that Zimbabwe has what is called the Zimbabwe Council for Higher Education. This is the door through which every prospective person who wants to start a university has to go through. They have minimum requirements that are required for anybody to start an institution.
Vice President Chiwenga also met with Mauritian Vice President Marie Cyril Edi Boissozen on the sidelines of the conclave, where they discussed the need for the two countries to increase cooperation in various sectors.
We discussed about how we can increase the economical cooperation between Zimbabwe and Mauritius. And in fact, we said that we need Africa as a whole, a need to be self-sufficient as far as food is concerned.
The India-Africa Business Conclave, which concludes on Thursday, has provided a platform for Zimbabwe and other African countries to showcase investment opportunities and strengthen economic ties with India. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, New Delhi.
Back home, a new monitoring system for all government projects under the Social Services Cluster is being introduced following initiation by Vice President Comrade Kembo Mohadi.
Technocrats from line ministries under the social service cluster have begun training to use a new monitoring and evaluation electronic dashboard, which was adopted by Vice President Comrade Kembo Mohadi's office. Permanent Secretary in the Office of Vice President Mohadi, Dr. Benson's Martin Due, told trainers in Bindura this Tuesday that adoption of robust and modern ways of doing business is necessary as the clock is ticking towards 2030.
Using the whole of government approach, we are adopting a best practice in the form of this monitoring and evaluation electronic dashboard. This critical tool augments data-driven decision-making and performance monitoring across our sector. The dashboard will facilitate the timely obtaining of critical and accurate project progress updates, helping the Office of the Vice President to make informed decisions and timely interventions.
Termed the Chiringa Dashboard, the monitoring tool which provides real-time updates on project statuses, milestones, progress or lack of it, was developed by the Bindura University of Science Education. The 3-day hands-on training session, which attracted project officers, managers and directors from 10 ministries under the social services cluster, is also expected to generate information on how to improve the Chiringa Dashboard, which is in the initial rollout phase. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Bindura.
Now, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, RBZ, has maintained open communication lines with captains of industry through engagements that seek to promote the use of the local currency.
The local ZiG currency continues to dominate financial transactions since its introduction in April this year, highlighting the successful promotion of the new currency by monetary authorities. This week, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe met with a number of business organizations to assess the impact of the new currency in stabilizing the economy.
Of particular note was the need for the central bank to ensure that we have efficient money supply management and that a transparent and market-determined exchange rate system is established, with particular focus on also building and maintaining robust reserves as a critical component of ensuring the success of the ZiG. We also highlighted to the Reserve Bank the need to ensure the availability of ZiG across the market. We appreciated the injection of $50 million by the Reserve Bank into the interbank market to also ensure that particularly our importers have access to foreign currency.
Ahead of meeting the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor Dr. John Mushaban, the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers President Mr. Denford Mutashu was confident of highlighting issues affecting his constituents of wholesalers and retailers.
One of the key areas which we are going to discuss is the acceptance of the ZiG throughout the value chain, where a retailer or a wholesaler, once they've accepted the ZiG from the consumers, they should naturally be able to restock, to procure more stocks from the suppliers and manufacturers with the same ZiG.
The RBZ's Financial Intelligence Unit has taken head on manipulators of the local currency who use extortionate parallel exchange rates in trading. However, concerns have been raised that this should be extended to the informal market where such malpractices are rife. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The National Blood Service Zimbabwe has assured the nation that it has adequate blood stocks as per standard requirements. The details from Wellington Makonesi.
It is a week after the Heroes and the Defense holidays, which are usually characterized by high demand for blood owing to a spike in road traffic accidents. In an interview with ZBC News this Tuesday, the National Blood Service Zimbabwe Chief Executive Officer Ms. Lucy Marowa revealed that the country has adequate blood stocks that should last a week as per required standards.
I would like to assure the nation that we have sufficient blood to take them through the next 1 week. When we talk about blood supply, we talk about it in terms of how many days cover we have. The ideal stocks it's 5 days cover, meaning that we should have blood group, especially blood group O, to take us through the next 5 days. And we also should have enough blood that we can test at any given moment to replenish that which is living every day. So we have at least 1,500 usable units that can take us through the next 5 days, and over 2,000 untested units that are ready to be tested and brought into the system.
She added that supplies are usually high during school days.
Our seasonal shortages are experienced towards the end of April into early May, towards the end of August into early September, as well as at the beginning of the year around the end of December into January. So that is always the traditional periods that we find shortages, and it's for that reason that schools are closed and the stocks we have accumulated would have been depleted. However, that's why we have partners that come in and we have major blood drives that we do.
National Blood Service Zimbabwe operates from 5 branches in Harare, Bulawayo, Masvingo, Gweru and Mutare, and has lined up blood drives to encourage donations, since blood is one finite commodity that cannot be imported or exported. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, the Commission of Inquiry into the governance of the Harare City Council continued, with the Housing Director, Admo Nekairo, taking center stage today.
The Commission of Inquiry into the governance of the Harare City Council continued this Tuesday, with the inquiry summoning the local authorities' housing director, Mr. Admo Nekairo. The commission accused Mr. Nekairo of spearheading illegal land allocations to top Harare City Council officials, allegations which he refuted before shifting the blame on CCC councillors.
The major modus operandi of land barons is to approach council and apply for open spaces which can be converted to residential stands. And when a rough draft of that layout plan has been prepared, land barons will invade those pieces of land before council will have done its due process. At times, they even prepare layout plans outside the parameters of council offices, and they invade. They use even surveyors not sanctioned by council, but they invade those pieces of land.
The Commission of Inquiry also accused the Harare City Council for abandoning the waiting list system, leaving thousands of prospective homeowners in limbo.
Allocation may not be based on date of allocation, but for one to be allocated, you have to be on the waiting list.
The Commission, however, ordered Mr. Nekairo to bring all the documents supporting his claims on Thursday. A high-level commission of inquiry chaired by respected retired High Court Judge Justice Matthews Cheda was established by President Emmerson Mnangagwa to probe the Harare City Council's activities since 2017, following widespread concerns about corruption, nepotism and governance failures. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
You're watching the main news. Remember, these and more stories are available on our website. You can visit www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Indeed, we're also available on social media, and you can just click up ZBC News Online. You should be able to find us on all platforms. Well, there are more stories on the other side of the break we're about to take, and this is what you can expect.
In business, Zim trade strategies pay off in Mozambique.
Well, we'll look at sport later on, where Perinatal Queens are set to face Cameroon United in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League.
Do stay with us for these and more stories coming up after this break.
The Rural Electrification Fund, REF, Board, Management and Staff joins the nation and the rest of the SADC in congratulating the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on his appointment as the Chairman of SADC. With your remarkable leadership championing for peace and good governance, we are convinced that you will lead the region into an era of food security, harmony and development, uplifting the standard of living of its citizens. May the Lord continue to give you wisdom, strength, and good health as you embark on this exciting journey. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope, Rural Electrification Fund, Magetsi Kumusha, Amagetsi Ekaya.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Peter Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
The Honorable Minister for Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Professor Dr. A. Murwira, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Simelisizwe Sibanda, the Permanent Secretary, Professor F. Tagwira, the Chairman of the ZimDef Board, Professor R. Chabaya, members of the ZimDef Board, ZimDef Chief Executive Officer, Engineer S. Marume, ZimDef Management and the entire ZimDef staff congratulates His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on the occasion of his assumption of the role of Chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. Your Excellency, we celebrate with the entire nation on this momentous occasion and wish you success as you lead the SADC community over the coming year. We are confident that your visionary leadership and capable guidance will be most beneficial to the SADC region and Africa at large. We stand behind you and offer you our full and unconditional support as we continue to execute our mandate and support human skills development and innovation for industrialization and modernization.
ZimDef, supporting human skills development and innovation for modernization and industrialization.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Honorable Monica Muchangwa, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Dr. J.N. Mutlanga, Permanent Secretary, Dr. Mavis Samanda, Chief Directors and staff in the ministry extend hearty congratulations to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, on his assumption of the chairmanship of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. We believe that your able leadership will propel the SADC development programs to higher levels. As the incoming chair of SADC, we have no doubt that issues of women empowerment, gender equality, eradication of gender-based violence, community development, and small and medium enterprises will gain greater prominence on the SADC agenda. We wish you, Your Excellency, success at the helm of SADC as you lead and drive development, integration, and prosperity in the whole region. May your tenure be guided by wisdom from God, compassion, and hard work. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
The Minister of Transport and Infrastructural Development, Honorable F.T. Mona, Deputy Minister, Honorable J.K. Sako, Permanent Secretary, Engineer J.P. Makumbe, management and staff join the rest of the nation in congratulating His Excellency Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, on his assumption of the SADC chairmanship during the 44th SADC Heads of State and Government Summit. The nation is confident that under your chairmanship, SADC and its people will continue to flourish and make meaningful progress towards regional integration, economic development, and prosperity. Your selfless and visionary leadership will undoubtedly be invaluable to SADC in the same way you have inspired transformational development in Zimbabwe. Shumba Murambwi, we applaud you for continuous commitment to infrastructural development as we look forward to becoming an upper middle income economy by 2030. Amflope, Makorokoto, congratulations.
Welcome back. You are still watching the main news. Now, as Zimbabweans continue to celebrate Heroes Month, we profile the late ZIPRA commander and military tactician, General Rogers Alfred Nikita Mangena. He died in 1978.
46 years after General Rogers Alfred Nikita Mangena's tragic death, his legacy still lives on. As the commander of the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army, ZIPRA, Comrade Mangena played a pivotal role in liberating Zimbabwe from the repressive Rhodesia government. Born in Fort Rixon in Insiza, Matabeleland South on the 16th of March 1945, General Mangena attended Namande Primary School as well as Musume and Chegato boarding schools in Mberengwa. General Mangena's life was that of a genius, as he came first in every class and was school captain for all the years he was at Musume and Chegato secondary schools. He was to use his intelligence and leadership skills to fight for the liberation of the country when he crossed into Zambia in 1965 to join other brave sons and daughters of the soil. General Mangena assumed the position of ZIPRA commander in 1971, with Comrade Jason Ziapapa Moyo being the commander-in-chief. He unfortunately met his death following a landmine blast in Zambia in 1978, and his remains were reburied at the National Heroes Acre in Harare on 11 August 1988. Government has since moved on to preserve the legacy of the national hero by naming a barrack that houses the Zimbabwe National Defense University after him. A school in Mberengwa area at Mazetse has also been named Nikita Mangena High School. His family also established the Nikita Mangena Foundation, which is also supporting disadvantaged youths and national liberation widows.
During his time at school, he was a straight A student. Apparently, he was always first in class. We were looking at trying to support underprivileged kids from rural Zimbabwe who have potential in academics as well as in sport.
As the sole surviving child of the national hero, Loche reflects on his family's history and the importance of remembering Zimbabwe's heroes.
I think all my siblings passed away. 2 years ago, my young brother died. 2010, my sister died. 2008, my older brother died. So as far as I know, direct children of my father's, I'm the only one left. My father's siblings, there's 3 that are still alive. We're all in touch, we communicate, we visit each other frequently. Every now and again, we'll, family funerals, we'll convene and we'll catch up and, we help each other, support each other.
General Alfred Nikita Mangena could have died, but his legacy lives on and continues to inspire generations towards self-determination. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
We continue to celebrate our heroes who brought us the freedom and independence we enjoy today. And on that note, we cross over to our Montrose studios where Dora Nube will now join us for the next stretch of the bulletin. It's a very good evening to you, Dora, and it's over to you. Thank you so much, Joyce. Indeed, we continue celebrating the heroes that fought for our liberation and freedom. Many thanks for taking us on. A lovely evening to you and to Butler and, of course, the rest of the viewers at home. We continue with our next report. The Zimbabwe Tourism Authority is on a drive to boost participation by tourism players from Victoria Falls at this year's Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo. The authority is also encouraging local operators to host international buyers in the resort town.
The Zimbabwe Tourism Authority was in Victoria Falls this Monday, engaging with local tourism stakeholders to encourage their participation in the upcoming 17th edition of the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo set for next month in Bulawayo.
We look forward to seeing more players from Victoria Falls coming to participate at the Sanganai Hlanganani. We are appealing to the tourism industry in Victoria Falls to support this initiative on hosting of international buyers, as it is important for you to sample your products for the future business.
The Tourism Business Council of Zimbabwe highlighted the benefits that come with exhibitions.
Maybe to encourage people to take advantage of this expo. Most of the times we can't go out to Durban for the Indaba, we can't go out to Cape Town for WTM, but this expo has been brought home.
International buyers registered so far for the Sanganai Hlanganani World Tourism Expo are from Europe, with the bulk coming from Germany and the United Kingdom. Others from South Africa, China, India and the United States of America have also responded positively. This year's expo is expected to attract more than 400 exhibitors, both local and international, up from 375 last year. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair Company, ZITF, has unveiled new dates for the highly anticipated Mine Entra exhibition. More from the following report.
The rescheduled Mining, Engineering and Transport exhibition, Mine Entra, is now set to be held from 9 to 11 October at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo. In a press statement, the board chairperson, Mr. Busisa Moyo, said the announcement of the new dates comes after Zimbabwe successfully hosted the recently ended SADC Industrialization Week and SADC Summit, which both highlighted the need for all stakeholders to work together to make Southern Africa and Africa in general a prosperous economic unit. The theme, Unearthing Success, the Mining Value Chains, Innovation and Industrialization Nexus. With the mining sector poised for significant growth, Mine Entra is set to be a pivotal platform for the showcasing of latest technologies, innovations, and investment prospects. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Cases of infanticide indicating that over 80 infants were killed by their mothers last year have exposed a deep-sitting crisis linked to perinatal mental health affecting a number of women in the country. Please note, some of the images contained in this news report are not for those of a nervous disposition.
3 months ago, this news crew worked on a story exposing a syndicate of illegal abortions conducted within the Avenues area in Harare. As shocking as the brutality associated with this practice is, we decided to dig further to understand factors driving young mothers to assume such drastic decisions as terminating the child before birth or even killing the child at birth. On condition of protecting their identity, our sources stated depression and anxiety, a condition medically known as perinatal mental health. It is a condition not widely reported in Zimbabwe, says Mr. Fadzwa Meki, one of the few psychologists who have specialized in this area.
The stats need to come out. A lot of times we will not understand why a woman goes to the extent of wanting to kill herself or the baby, or not wanting the baby, or sometimes you hear women that have given birth that will say, I want my baby up for adoption, or I don't even want to have a child, or they cannot merge the idea of having given birth and being responsible for someone.
Is there an open conflictual relationship?
To bridge the current gap of professional perinatal psychologists, the Society for Pre- and Postnatal Services, PANS, is working on a number of supportive programs, including a scheduled maiden meeting of perinatal mental health experts to be hosted in the resort city of Victoria Falls later this year.
This is a huge problem. If you go down, to communities and try to listen at different expressions from different cultures, you find out that, most people, they express mental health on daily basis.
Against official figures by the Zimbabwe Republic Police showing 75 infanticide cases reported last year and close to 15 cases reported in the first 3 months of this year, experts say perinatal mental health is an unfolding crisis. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
The Rural Electrification Fund's biogas digesters project is progressing well, with Anderson High School in Gweru set to benefit from 2 digesters being set up by government at the institution.
The biogas digesters project is part of the Second Republic's Vision 2030 accelerator model aimed at providing alternative sources of energy from the national grid and solar in rural communities as part of government's inclusive development approach. The project, which harnesses energy from biomaterial, is progressing well at Anderson High School, with contractors confident to finish the project by end of next month.
This project started on the 29th of July, so we expect it to be completed in a duration of about 50 working days. So we anticipate to complete the project, let me say, by end of September. So we have Gweru district, where we have Anderson. In Shurugwi, we have Pagama High School, and in Chirumanzu, we have got Hama High School.
The school authorities are anticipating huge spin-off benefits from the energy project.
So electricity bills are going to come down, and as they do come down, the cost of education will also going to go down. More people will benefit, and more people will be able to afford even the boarding, our boarding fees. The more so, some of the spin-off products also include the water from the biogas can be used for irrigating our lawns, or even our crops on our farm. The water from the same source can also be used to feed our aqua project as well. But so far we've got fish, and if they've got this water, I'm told they will grow much faster than what they are doing at the moment.
The government is equally excited by the project, which feeds into the country's economic blueprint, the National Development Strategy 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, the energy sector is one of the major drivers of our national development matrix. The negative effects of climate change across the globe, in particular droughts, demands a shift from over-dependence on hydropower to alternative energy technologies like this one, which resonate with our local heritage-based comparative advantages in thermal, solar, and wind energy.
The biogas digester project is part of the Second Republic's raw industrialization energy generation model, which seeks to pursue a clean and safe environment in line with the Sustainable Development Goal number 7 on affordable and clean energy. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And well, that's it from us here at Montrose. We now take you back to the team and Pocketsville for more news. Spotline Joyce, it's back to you. Well, many thanks to Dora and our crew at Montrose Studios in Bulawayo. And from the city of kings and queens, we go beyond our country's borders, where Malawi has received an insurance payout from the African Development Bank for the El Nino-induced drought.
The $11.2 million United States dollar drought relief payout received by Malawi was secured through the African Risk Capacity Group, an agency of the African Union. Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera says the payout is a lifeline for the vulnerable populations following the country's declaration of a state of disaster earlier this year.
Democratic Republic of the Congo, the DRC health minister says they hope to receive the first doses of Mpox vaccine next week, following promises from the United States of America and Japan to help fight the outbreak. Reports say since the beginning of this year, the DRC has recorded around 16,700 cases and just over 570 deaths, affecting mainly young people and children under the age of 15.
Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mr. Nasser Khani says the United States government is not qualified to mediate over the Israel-Palestine ceasefire talks since it has openly supplied weapons to Israel. At a press conference in Tehran on Monday night, Mr. Khamenei reiterated that ceasefire talks are necessary and the international community should not tolerate the crimes committed against the Palestinian people. According to Gaza's health authorities, over 40,000 people have been killed, with around 92,000 wounded since the conflict started in October last year.
The main news now takes a break. Don't go far. We'll be back shortly with more news.
The Environment Management Board Chairperson, Ambassador Z.W. Simbi, board members, management, and staff of the Environmental Management Agency, EMA, proudly congratulate His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on assumption of the Southern African Development Community SADC Chairperson. This prestigious role is a recognition of your visionary leadership and commitment to promoting environmental sustainability within the region. As you lead SADC into a new era of cooperation, we are confident that your focus on environmental protection and sustainable development will drive economic growth and social progress across the region. The Environmental Management Agency is dedicated to supporting your vision by ensuring the sustainable utilization of our region's natural resources and building a greener, more resilient future. We look forward to working diligently to build a stronger and more environmentally sustainable SADC. Together, protecting the environment. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Mpox Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Mpox Swipe Card at any Mpox booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Mpox yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Mpox app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
The Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Honorable Professor Dr. Amon Murwira, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Simelisizwe Sibanda, the Permanent Secretary, Professor Fanuel Tagwira, Chief Directors, Directors, and the entire ministry staff wish to convey their hearty congratulations to His Excellency, the President, Comrade Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, on his esteemed appointment as the Chairman of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. This distinguished role is a testament to your exceptional leadership and unwavering commitment to regional collaboration and progress. Your dedication to advancing the interests of the SADC region is truly inspiring, and we have no doubt that your tenure will usher in new opportunities for unity, development, and prosperity across the region. Your vision and expertise will undoubtedly steer SADC towards even greater achievements. May your leadership be marked by impactful progress and lasting positive change. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again. Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Upgrade to DSTV Compact for $30 a month to get all the football action you want.
The chairman, board, management and staff of the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe joins the nation in extending warm-hearted congratulations to His Excellency President Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa on being appointed chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC. The inauguration is significant for the people of Zimbabwe and the nation as it strengthens the unwavering commitment to lead the nation into a new and unfolding democracy, underscoring the need for unity among all Zimbabweans in growing the economy and ensuring the country is transformed to an upper middle income economy by 2030. The appointment is also in line with Zimbabwe's mantra of being a friend to all and enemy to none. The Second Republic has supported the opening up of the airwaves, which has been an important step towards promoting universal access to information. The Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe has witnessed remarkable milestones, and your vision for universal access to information has paved the way for a brighter future. As you embark on your new responsibilities, the country looks forward to improved technological and socio-economic transformation of economies through industrialization, which remains a key priority of SADC. Makorokoto Amhlope. Congratulations, Shumba Murambwi. The Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe. Celebration and expression of our cultural identity through broadcasting.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Pizza Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. Now, government says the country is on high alert to prevent the spread of Mpox following a surge in global cases.
As the global Mpox outbreak continues to spread, over 16,000 cases and more than 500 deaths have been recorded in 75 countries. Although Zimbabwe has not recorded any case of Mpox, the Minister of Health and Child Care, Dr. Douglas Mwambeshora, says government is not taking any chances, hence taking proactive measures to prevent the virus from entering its borders. He spoke this Tuesday on the sidelines of the India-Africa Business Conclave in New Delhi, where Zimbabwe is seeking investments in various sectors which include health.
We are on high alert. We have alerted all our port health posts to be on the lookout. We are installing thermal scanners where you just walk through and the body temperature can be picked up. And if one temperature is up, then there's a holding room where they can be examined. And we've said all those who present with a temperature and a rash should be thoroughly investigated where they are coming from and how long they've been there, any possible contacts with people who have had monkeypox, and appropriate measures and tests can be done.
The World Health Organization WHO has declared the latest Mpox outbreak in Africa a public health emergency of international concern, the category used in the past for outbreaks of Ebola and COVID-19. Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is an infectious disease caused by a virus. Flu-like symptoms including fever, chills and muscle aches are typically followed by a rash that starts as raised spots, which turn into blisters filled with fluid. These eventually form scabs. Abigail Timbo, ZBC News, New Delhi.
Now shift our focus to business news up next.
Mozambique is proving to be a rich export market for Zimbabwean companies with the assistance of Zimtrade, whose market intelligence gathering methods have proved to be fruitful.
Zimtrade export manager Ms. Bongani Mafu said the attendance of the first Zimtrade fair in Maputo is their second appearance in Mozambique this month, informed by their expertly market-focused surveys.
When we do these events, it will be after an informed decision through market surveys that we do, not only in Mozambique, as you say, in other markets as well. We first carry out market research in that market, which is what informs us what products to then focus on as we do activities and advise companies to take part in those activities in the various markets.
One of the companies attending the first Trade Fair is Harare-based industrial footwear manufacturer Triple T, which owes its success to Zimtrade.
And we are now distributing our products through our distribution partners in the Tete province. And it is our hope that as we go back again this year to FASIM in Maputo, we are going to engage more distributors so that we improve the visibility of our products and also generate the much needed foreign currency to support our operations in terms of bringing in raw materials for both our safety footwear and our garments.
Zimtrade has successfully managed to gather market intelligence throughout various foreign markets, helping it to tailor-make its promotion strategies to suit each unique foreign market. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report from Owen Mandova, rounding off our look at business news. The arts, culture and entertainment is next. Well, the visiting Miss Universe, Shanice Palacios, who is in the country, has commissioned boreholes to Epworth community as part of a humanitarian cause.
In support of government's initiative to provide safe water for all, the reigning Miss Universe, in partnership with the local pageant and various partners, donated 2 boreholes to the Epworth community who could not hide their joy.
Takangotanga kupera migodhi. Takangotanga nokutochera kudhamu, kuwacha, kusuka, kugeza, zvese kutotanga kuchera mvura ine matope kupi kudhamu. Aiwa tafara zvikuru, mabhoha achatibatsira because unenge wakutosevha mvura.
Potenda nokuya kwamaita muchita semuchitirawo kudai somwari akuropafadzei nemabasa amaita.
The donation is part of the pageant's humanitarian initiatives to give back to society.
So it is our initiative as Miss Universe Zimbabwe to partner with the government and market the brand Zimbabwe. I know that before, when we started the engagements, they were a bit skeptical about Zimbabwe, about whether their queen is going to be safe or not. But I'm very sure for those few hours that have been here, their mindset has changed. And the choice of donating balls was a natural choice for us. Why? Because we are supporting government or efforts of making sure that every household has clean water. So it is our effort to make sure that people have clean water.
As part of a familiarization tour just days after the Beauty Queen's visit to Kenya, the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority is committed to working with her in promoting Destination Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is a land of breathtaking natural wonders, from the majestic Victoria Falls to the diverse wildlife of our national parks. We hope that during your stay you will have the opportunity to experience the warm hospitality of the people of Zimbabwe and see firsthand the beauty and vibrant culture that makes our country so special.
Meanwhile, in an act of humility while inspiring the girl child in the country, Palacio handed a sash to a 6-year-old girl, Michelle, from Epworth. The 24-year-old beauty queen will be in the country for a few more days with a number of events lined up. Patience Nyagado, ZBC News, Harare.
We're off to a break. When we return, we join Lawrence Trusida for the latest in sport.
the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Mashonaland Central Province, Honorable Christopher Magomo, MP, the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Timothy Maregere, directors, OPC staff, and the entire Mashonaland Central Province extend their heartfelt congratulations to His Excellency, the President, Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, on his appointment as the chairperson of the Southern African Development Community, SADC Regional Bloc. Your Excellency, your appointment has come at a time when Zimbabwe is experiencing accelerated economic growth. We are confident that under your esteemed leadership, Zimbabwe and the entire SADC will continue to make significant strides towards regional economic integration, peace and security. Your unwavering commitment to the principles of good governance, democracy and sustainable development will undoubtedly guide the region towards a brighter future. As we work towards Vision 2030, Mashonaland Central stands ready to implement national and regional development agendas and ensure that we attract the much-needed investment towards an industrialized SADC through innovation. We pledge our unwavering support to you in this important role. We are confident that your leadership will enhance SADC's standing as a respected and influential regional bloc. We wish you all the best in your capacity as the chairperson of SADC, Mashonaland Central Province, the investment destination of choice.
So, this is where our story began. It was love at first sight. And from the moment we met, there's one thing that's always been there for us. One constant in this crazy, beautiful life. Pizza Inn. It's been there for our first heartbreaks and even those shouldn't have had that second slice moments. But beyond the food, it's about the shared experiences, the connections forged over a cheesy slice. We've been high, we've been low, all while celebrating that wonderful thing called togetherness. And when that Pizza Inn box hits the table, it's all love for each other and for the best pizza in the whole wide world. We've been doing it together through the good times and the bad for the past 30 years. Pizza Inn must be the pizza.
The board, management and staff of the Airports Company of Zimbabwe Private Limited applauds the sterling beacon of eminence, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, on his appointment as Chairman of the Southern African Development Community. The Airports Company, ACZ, holds up air connectivity and infrastructure development in support of regional integration. We take pride in supporting the development conquests in your tenure. Undoubtedly, your exceptional leadership will be a propelling force for transformational impact in SADC.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at no extra cost. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on Showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will confirm that you qualify for Showmax at no extra cost as a DSTV Premium subscriber. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Mpox Swipe Card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Mpox Swipe Card at any Mpox booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Mpox yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Mpox app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
Good evening once again, and thank you so much for joining us on Sports News this Monday evening as we get to give you what has been happening through the day. We start off with news coming through from football, where Zimbabwe's representatives in the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers Rentals Queens will get to face Gaborone United of Botswana in the semi-finals of the continental competition. More in the next report.
After securing their spot in the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, Herentals Queens have discovered their next opponents following the conclusion of Group B matches this Tuesday. The students will face Gaborone United of Botswana this Thursday, following Gaborone's thrilling 3-2 win over Ascent Academy of Malawi to secure the spot in the last four. Oriental's Queens booked their spot in the semi-finals of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, despite a 2-1 loss to University of Western Cape in their final group match at Imperial Stadium in Malawi on Monday. The students will be eager to bounce back and make a statement in the next future. The other semi-final will feature University of Western Cape from South Africa and Eswatini as the Green Buffaloes. The overall winner of the 10-day tournament will book a place at the CAF Women's Champions League's continental finals, joining Mamelodi Sundowns, who did not participate in the qualifiers as they had already secured their finals slot by virtue of being African champions. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
Still in the Champions League, however, we'll move on to the men's edition, where Ngezi Platinum Stars head coach Tekshua Chiragui is optimistic that his team will get a positive result when they take on AS Miniema Union of the Democratic Republic of Congo in a match set for Kinshasa this Sunday.
It is all to play for at the Stade Matthias this Sunday as AS Miniema host Ngezi Platinum Stars in a CAF Champions League preliminary round encounter. The first leg ended 0-0, with hosts Ngezi Platinum Stars creating the better chances, while the visitors had sporadic raids to their opponent's penalty box. Despite the draw seemingly favoring Miniema Union, Ngezi Platinum Stars coach Tekshua Chiragui believes it's game on.
I'm one coach who believes in current performance of the team. I'm one coach who believes in hard work. I'm one coach who believes on correct mistakes and make sure we go to the next game planning how we are going to win.
The match will be played at the giant Stade Matthias in Kinshasa, which hosts 80,000 fans and is set to kick off at 16:30 hours this Sunday.
The Zimbabwe Olympic Committee ZOC is satisfied with the performance of Team Zimbabwe at the just ended 2024 Paris Olympic Games. This was referred by Team Zimbabwe's chef de mission, Ringisai Mapondera, just after returning from Paris.
Zimbabwe sent 7 athletes to the 2024 Paris Games and had decent performances despite not being able to win medals. Sprinters Makanaka Ishe Charamba and Tapiwa Nashe Makarau, who are being earmarked for the 2028 Olympics, reached the finals of this year's 200-meter event. Long-distance runner Isaac Mpofu finished a commendable 19th in the marathon, while rower Stephen Cox finished the games 25th overall. Swimmer Danielson Ciprianos and Paige van der Westhuizen were eliminated in the first round, while Rutendo Nyaora did not finish the women's marathon after suffering an injury along the way. Ringisai Mapondera, who was head of Team Zimbabwe and is also a Zimbabwe Olympic Committee board member, was happy with the performance of the team.
Zimbabwe did perform well compared to what would ordinarily be expected. I know people would want a medal, but the performance was way far above par, and it is a performance that is worthwhile noting and to be proud of. So I believe that, that's the way to go. We need to reinvest. We need to relook at the infrastructure we have. How do we resource mobilize to make it viable, to make it something that will give us the results that we desire.
While Zimbabwe had 7 athletes, 2 making it to the finals, and a marathoner breaking in the top 20, other countries fared even worse. South Africa sent 149 athletes and managed 6 medals. Egypt, with 148 competitors, brought back 3 medals. Africa's most populous country, Nigeria, had 88 athletes who all failed to win a single medal, while Zambia, with 27 athletes, returned with a bronze medal. Elsewhere, Kenya were the best performing African country in Paris, winning 4 gold medals, while Algeria had 2 golds, with South Africa, Botswana, Uganda, Morocco, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Tunisia managing a single gold medal each.
On that Olympics note, we come to the end of our sports news. It's now time for the weather.
Hello there, welcome to today's weather report. It started off cold under cloudy skies over much parts of the country with slight ground frost being reported at weather. However, it became warm under sunny skies as the day progressed. As we get into Wednesday, tomorrow we're expecting mostly sunny and warm conditions, though cool in the morning in all areas. And Thursday we are expecting windy conditions as towards the evening with some clouds coming in on Friday. And now moving on, satellite image is showing that it started off mostly sunny today as well as Wednesday, and clouds will start coming in Thursday evening into Friday afternoon over the southern parts and the eastern parts of the country. Now for minimum temperatures, we're expecting a little bit lower temperatures over Mutare area as well as Gwanda, cool conditions in much parts and mild conditions over the northwestern parts of the country. As for the maximum temperatures, we're expecting slightly higher temperatures over the southern parts of the country, over Chirezi area, late 20s in the central parts of Zimbabwe, and early 30s over the northwestern parts of the country, with Lupane being the highest with a 32 degrees Celsius. Now moving on, Bulawayo is expected to be sunny throughout the focus period, windy on Friday with some brief cloudy periods, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. Chinwai should be sunny as well throughout the focus period, some brief cloudy periods on Saturday, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. Now moving on, Gwanda should be sunny throughout the week, windy Thursday evening with some cloudy conditions on Friday, cold in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. As for Gweru, should be cloudy on Friday, cold in the morning Friday into Saturday, becoming warm by the afternoon. For Harare, sunny conditions, brief cloudy periods Friday into Saturday, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. Kadoma, sunny throughout the focus period, 26 warm by the afternoon, cool in the morning. Kariba, sunny throughout, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. Lupane as well, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon under sunny skies. As we move on, Kwekwe should be sunny throughout the focus period, partly cloudy on Friday into Saturday. Mashingo, sunny throughout though windy on Thursday with cloudy conditions on Friday. Matopos, windy Thursday and Friday, cool in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. As for Nyanga, the Eastern Highlands, cloudy on Friday. Victoria Falls, sunny throughout the focus period, mild in the morning becoming warm by the afternoon. Good evening, Zimbabwe. That's all from the weather desk today.
Well, the weather report and forecast rounding off today's edition of the main news. My name is Patla Nepure.
And I'm Joyce Mabika, Susan Masona on sign language, and from the crew behind the scenes, it's good night.